Okay, so let me get this straight. You were growing your hair out and you were making great gains. Your hair was growing really, really fast. You even got a couple of the styles that you've been wanting to get. You know, you got the cornrows, the stitch braid, you know what I mean? You got the little 2-strand twist, and it was looking pretty fine. But you got antsy, and then you cut your hair. Why would you cut your hair? You messed up the church's money. You know what I'm saying? Now you're trying to make your comeback. You're trying to grow it back out. My name is King Bril, and today I'm gonna give you some tips that you can ingratiate into your daily routine that'll help your hair get back on track. Let's do this. Alright, so one of the best things you can do to improve your hair growth is actually to improve your diet. You see, while I don't have the healthiest diet, I try to make it my point to get the right nutrients in so I can see my hair grow better, and that oftentimes help my skin and my overall health. In my opinion, having a fully packed nutritional breakfast is the easiest thing to do to improve your diet, because when it comes time for lunch and maybe dinner, you might be out and about, or maybe you might skip one of those. It's just so much going on late in the day. It's easy to get a lot of your nutrients in before you leave the house in the first place. So right here I have my oatmeal, I have my apples, which are great for a lot of fiber, and they like to clear a lot of cholesterol, which is great for your heart. So we got my sausage and we got eggs here, which is great for the protein. And if you see here, I got my omega-3s, also good for the blood vessels, good for the heart. Got my vitamin D and my turmeric, which is great for inflammation. All of these things contribute to a healthier heart, better circulation, healthier body, better hair growth. And we can't forget about a nice tall glass of beet juice to wash it all down. This is actually a pretty short glass, but this is great for your circulation as well, and it's amazing pre-workout. If you know, you know. And one of the biggest changes I had to make from my breakfast routine recently is I had to go from eating 4 eggs to eating 2 eggs. Because while 4 eggs is a humongous amount of protein, it's also a humongous amount of cholesterol. And while the protein helps your hair grow, the cholesterol stops the efficiency at which your blood flows when it gets to a certain level. And if you don't remember anything that I've said to you in the last 2 minutes, remember this when it comes to your diet, specifically for hair growth. Anything that's great for your hair is great for your heart. Anything that's great for your heart is great for your hair. And speaking of heart, blood circulation and things like that, let's get into the next tip. Boom, and my second tip is, yes, you guessed it, to exercise. More specifically, you want to strength train, because strength training helps regulate your hormones, indirectly increasing your hair growth. You see, the number one way that your hormones affect your hair growth is through this thing called cortisol, which is a hormone itself. When you're going through the day and you're pretty stressed out, or you got a lot on your plate or a lot on your mind, your body tends to experience elevated cortisol levels. And having elevated cortisol levels consistently throughout the day, day after day, week after week, is not healthy at all for your body, and it's terrible for your hair growth. Well, when you strength train, what you actually do is you increase your body's ability to adapt to stress, which means going through different things or having different things go wrong stresses you out a lot less when you're lifting heavy in the gym. And the other really important hormonal benefit that you get from strength training that can also indirectly help your hair growth is you get increased insulin sensitivity. All in all, insulin helps your body use the glucose that's in your bloodstream as energy. And while insulin sensitivity is one of the more advanced complications of health, look at it like this. When you have decreased insulin sensitivity, you become more at risk for things like type 2 diabetes, kidney disease, and cardiovascular disease. Remember what I was saying about the heart earlier. So in order to indirectly increase hair growth, you want to make sure that you're strength training at least 3 times a week. And while I do love strength training, I must admit it's not the absolute best type of exercise for hair growth. Yes, sir, we are out here at my alma mater in UNC Charlotte, man, one of the prettiest campuses in North Carolina. The lighting's better this way, so I'm just gonna walk backwards as we go this way. Man, I really feel like it was my tuition that paid for a lot of those swimming pools we have on campus, so this is my campus for the time being, even though I graduated. Now, the reason why I'm out here getting a run, and the reason why I believe running is a lot more beneficial for hair growth than strength training, is because strength training does provide a hormonal response. But running is so good for your blood circulation. Instead of 1 or 2 short bursts of an elevated heart rate, you actually have a
less intense elevation of heart rate that's more continuous. You know, it lasts for a longer period of time. So what happens then is a lot of those small capillaries on your legs, on your elbows, a lot of those get opened up when they weren't previously used, and that's all great for your blood circulation. If you ever taken a really good pre-workout, then you know exactly the feeling I'm talking about. It almost feels like your elbows and knees are itching for some odd reason. But the same thing happens for your scalp, which means hair growth is anew because it's new blood flow. Let's get it.
And my next tip is really a sleeper. I don't know what it is right now, but it feels like a lot of us are just in that grind mode in this season. We're in that go ghost and improve ourselves mode this season. And while some of us can attack that grind with, enough poise and enough patience to do it in a healthy way, there's a lot of us that are in grind mode, but we're stressed out, like seriously stressed out. And that stress is not good for hair growth. It's also the cause of some of that hairline thinning and some of that crown balding. But just recently, I found this smooth little app called One Leaf. And One Leaf is actually designed to help rewire your brain so that we can lower that stress, we can manage those mental roadblocks, and we can stop a lot of bad habits that we have. And by far, my favorite part of this app is absolutely the check-ins, because there's a lot of times when I'm ripping and running and my day is full and I kind of forget to check on myself. So when I have to stop and do these check-ins and rate, oh, how well did I sleep last night? How much sleep have I gotten in the last week? Did I exercise this week? In the same way a car has a gas light or a check engine light, this app is my kind of emergency light that lets me know when I'm falling into negative habits, falling into old patterns, negative behaviors, or otherwise just not taking good care of myself. So if you're interested, make sure you click the link down below in the description. And if you guys comment One Leaf, 3 of you guys will be chosen at random to receive a free subscription. And try it now.
And this next tip is probably going to be a fan favorite, but I want you guys to know it will not work if you don't have the right amount of consistency. There are a gang of products that can help your hair grow and that can help you keep the hair that you grow. I'm going to say that again. There's a lot of products that can help your hair grow and a lot of products that are intended to help you keep the hair that you grow. Right? So one of my favorite products that help me keep the hair that I grow, because a lot of you guys have short hair due to breakage, not necessarily hair not growing fast, is the Royal Hydration Treatment. This is a favorite, man. I've been using this so consistently over the years. Can you see it? There you guys go to Royal Hydration Treatment. Get that at richrose.com. And it really helps keep my hair moisturized because I have type 4 hair. It keeps it moisturized, which helps my hair be more malleable, makes it, able to bend more without breaking. And of course with locks, it helps my hair stay strong and full of life, so it's not really thinning out like we see a lot of people's locks thinning. We don't want that. And something that actually helps my hair grow is the Majestic Mint Oil. See that? Real close-ups, like bottle almost sent me. I gotta give me some more. And that's something that I apply to my scalp twice a week. But a lot of you guys don't want to hear nothing about no consistency. Just send me the link for the product so I can buy it, put it in my hair, and my hair can grow. And as much junk as I'm talking with consistency, this last tip is the one that I struggle being the most consistent with. And the absolute last tip, man, it's the one that I struggle the most with, but it's also the simplest. Maintaining your water intake, man. It's so simple, such a simple concept, but being consistent with it day after day after day is the hardest part. Now, there's been a lot of studies or a lot of folktale bro science, as I say, that say we should all drink about a gallon of water a day. Well, I find that only to really be true if you're somewhat up north of about 220 pounds versus, once you get a lot lower, that's 220 with a lot of muscle. So once you get a lot lower, let's say you're in the 160 range, that's probably only about 2 to 3 liters of water every single day. But for me, I know specifically sometimes it could be upwards near a gallon if I'm working out. And if I'm just in the house, I might forget to drink 1 glass. And I know that's dirty to not have 1 glass of water all day, but sometimes it happens when I'm really deep into work. So something I'm going to do is make sure I actually get back to using the big gallon, because I was using the water bottles a lot. When I use the big gallon, I can actually keep track of my intake as I go through it throughout the day. I think water bottles are better for when I'm on the move, but when I'm at home, it's better for me to just have the full gallon, because I don't know, man. I think in every which way, there's so many ways you can grow your hair, but the ones that are easy, make sure you get them right. So the water thing is going to be something I'm doing, and to make sure I get it right, I'm going to be doing a lot more carrying around. But I just said the strategy. No need to be repeated. I don't know, sometimes I get on YouTube and I just want to blab, just repeat, man. But that's really all the tips I got, man. If you guys got any more tips that you think somebody should know about growing their hair out, make sure Make sure you drop them down below. And if you like the new video style, you want to see more, make sure you let me know. And if you don't, you be blessed. Peace.